you didn't know it already, no excuses now. An average conversion rate for a sales page is about 3 to 5-ish%. The last one I launched, it came in at 15.6%. Thank you very much. Even though I'm a copywriter and this is what I do all day, every day, I was pretty proud of that. Hey mom, can that go in the fridge? But there are at least 8 edits that I am making to this sales page before I set it live again for warm traffic, potentially cold traffic. So in this video, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take you behind the scenes of 8 tweaks that I'm making on this sales page, and I wanna break down the sales and the buyer psychology, both the copy and the design elements, so I can explain how this works. By the end of this video, you're gonna walk away with at least 8 ideas that you can go off and implement on your own sales pages. Heck yes, sound good? Click the like button if you're ready for it. While you're down there, hit the subscribe button. That helps me so much continue to crank out videos like this. As I'm recording this one, I'm on a little workcation, hence the background that's not my office, not my copy cave. And if we've not yet met, hey, my name is Ashlyn Carter. I'm the founder of Ashlyn Writes, a boutique copywriting agency that serves creative entrepreneurs as well as the Copy Bar, a copy template shop, because I firmly believe that you can be the very best copywriter for your creative small business, and you should be able to make more money with your words. I'm here to help you do that. The TLDR on this one, we just launched a membership. Yay! It only took me 3 years of planning for it. Sometimes dreams take a while. I recorded and hosted a full breakdown of the launch. Numbers, expectations, how we figured out what the offer was, how we figured out the pricing on the offer. I did all of that for our members inside the Copy Bar Collective. So if you want the full teardown, go ahead and look down below. You can find information on how you can get in on the membership and go watch that video, the full breakdown. But like I said, in this video, I want to focus on the sales page specifically. And here's the gist of what it looked like. For people that know me or have watched me for a while, this probably comes as no surprise, but I'm pretty hard on myself. I got some incredible feedback and people said very nice things like this is immediately going in their swipe file and it was a clinic in sales copy. Obviously, those are nice things. I look at the numbers to make data-driven decisions and I try not to let my emotions get involved, and the numbers were extremely high. We ended up hitting over 215% of the goal I set for this launch. I know how to construct and write a sales page. Again, that's my bread and butter. So one thing I want to show you that I did do incredibly right, and I stand beside it as something I did well. Let's talk through the hook of this sales page. I've done a whole video on how to find the hook and the importance of that. That is ultra important in crafting your offers and the messaging around it. The hook for this specific offer was this. AI has burst on the scene and everybody's about to sound the same, and there's gonna be a heck lot more of content out there. Content production in the world is about to, you thought it was noisy? Just wait. Thus, if you cannot write head-turning, personality-packed conversion copy for your small business extremely quickly at light speed pace, you are DOA. This is a muscle you cannot afford to let atrophy now, this writing muscle. If you're not writing consistently and doing so in a way that's making offers as an entrepreneur, sink or swim, baby. So that was the hook. That was the argument that I was making in both the sales page, and then the vehicle for getting people to the sales page was obviously the sequence of emails that I wrote and my team edited. But let's break into these 8 edits that I want to make to the sales page. By the way, if you've never seen, I have a free guide to the anatomy of a sales page. So if you're curious about how to construct it or the order of the hierarchy of the message, look down below, grab that freebie. It's gonna take you through the different pieces of your sales page. That said, here's what I'm adding. First up, now that I know what was holding people back and what put people on the fence, had them in that awkward straddle position, oh my gosh, I'm going back in the sales page and I'm adding information to combat that objection. You've got to figure out what is making your fence sitters sit on the fence during a launch or a campaign and address that acutely. You have to make that painful for them. I realized about midway through cart, and I've shared this with our TCBC members inside the monthly sticky notes newsletter that they get, a massive learning for me with this launch, and it's probably gonna be the same for you with any first launch of something, because you're getting the first iteration out and you're learning a lot about the messaging and how it hits people and what they respond to and what they don't. While we were seeing great rates and hitting our goals, I was seeing reflected in the numbers a lot of people that were looking at the sales page and sitting on the fence. They were interested, they said it's beautiful, it is a great offer, I'm so interested in joining. Yet when it came down to banging that credit card on the table and actually joining, they weren't doing it. Why? My best advice for this, get you somebody who will tell you the truth. I reached out to and Voxered my friend Abby. I said, hey, you've talked to me about joining, but I noticed you haven't yet. She shot me straight. It wasn't painful enough for her. You can read a little bit of our conversation right here, but the biggest thing I gleaned from it, she couldn't yet see, again, specific to this offer, she couldn't see how it was going to help her make back her investment. Boom, that set me off. I have to argue that now. So what did I do with this info? The first thing I did is look back at the sequence, the rest of the emails that I had that were scheduled to go out, and I said, pause. One thing we need to argue really well and acutely in this is a concept I call make back math. I needed specifically to tell people how by investing $29 or $97 a month, I was going to help them get the ROI on that and then some. You can take a glance at the email copy here. That email did really well. So a big edit I'm making on the sales page, now that I have that information and I know what held people back from joining, you bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna go into the sales page and work this in. I will probably add a whole canvas that talks and argues for this point. By the way, I've done another video about how to lawyer up in your sales copy and argue well. Be sure to watch that one. It's a really good one, if I do say so myself. Numero dos. If your mouth was taped up and you only had to point to proof to sell what you do, could you do it? Talking social proof here. It's hard on the first iteration, again, of an offer to bring in the social proof. You usually have to beta test it. I've done a video on that. Use that proof to prove that things work. How many times can I say the word proof? But now that we have specific feedback, snippets, testimonials of people saying, hey, I implemented this and XYZ happened just like this, that now goes on the sales page. That's really important. While all of this could be communicated in copy, I would argue that there is a place for like ugly testimonials on your sales pages, stuff that doesn't look so pristine and pretty. Screenshots. I'm talking about screenshots. So one thing I'm gonna do is sprinkle these little snippets into the copy on the page. Number 3, I'm gonna add a video element. First of all, I think adding movement to any sales page, especially a long form copy sales page, is dynamite. You need to do that. Make the page interactive and fun to be on and eye-catching. I wanna specifically add a video about how the monthly copy audit calls work. Not only did we have a lot of questions about that, which I completely understand, but sometimes a show don't tell moment can be super powerful. I absolutely believe that there is a get ready with me unboxing type of email. I've talked about this on Instagram before. There's room for that kind of email in your launch campaign. I want to have a moment like that now on the sales page as well. Do you have some sort of behind the scenes moment on your sales page where you're showing them inside the offer or the product itself, if it is a physical product? I want to see hands holding it. I want to see somebody moving through it. That is so very important, whether you're e-commerce or selling a digital product. I also want to add in a sample of a copy drop that you get every single month. So that's my takeaway for you on this point. Have you added in something like that? Number 4, now that we've launched, I can clean up the FAQ section. Again, third time I'm saying it, but this kind of stuff is just kind of a shot in the dark until you've launched something multiple times. Here's your PSA. Do not launch something once and then forget about it. Optimize, tweak, figure it out. It takes a lot of launches to be able to figure out the messaging components around an argument, and that's okay. That's just how it is. So stay with it. There's your little pep talk. But now I can go back into the customer service tickets and see what were the big questions that came up. How can I clean the FAQ to reflect that? Were there FAQ that weren't quite clear that need to be tweaked? Kind of a minor copy edit in the scheme of things and the actual heavy lifting that it'll take on my end, but it's ultra important. Number 5, a visual graph to demonstrate a copy argument. I've showed this example a few times, but in a sales page that we recently did for Jenna Kutcher, we recommended to her in some of the argument that we made in the copy that information be communicated visually. I wrote it and I thought that is going to be a heck of a lot stronger if it is shown with visuals. So your takeaway here, when you're writing your sales page, especially in the informational, the data-driven part where you're arguing to the rational side of the brain, the rational thought, can that information, especially if your audience loves visuals and is a visual learner, can you explain that information with a visual component, a design element? Here's how I want to do that. I, again, talked about the noise and the ramp up that AI is going to create. Can I show that with a graph? If you're not a designer, tell your designer, I think this information is really powerful. This is the I moment in your PARIS framework. Ask your designer for ideas about how you could show that, whether it's a Venn diagram or a bar graph or a line graph or some other component. All right, pause. We've got 5 down. I've got 6, 7, and 8 to go. How are you doing? Comment down below. Is this helpful? Can you take these tweaks? Can you put them into action on your own sales pages and offer pages? Let's keep going. Number 6, I'm going to add a section that talks about why email. Why do I focus in the Copy Bar Collective on the core component being delivered every month? Email copy. I have nowhere on the sales page where I say this. I found myself saying it on video ask responses that I was doing and saying it on orientation calls with new students. I focus on email because it is the most easy medium for people to learn how to write personality packed conversion copy in. A lot of us hold our website copy way too preciously. that a word? And sometimes when we're writing little snippets of copy that are a lot less cumbersome to draft, like ad copy or caption copy, because those are going to cold traffic, we're a little bit more concerned about what will people think of us. Email copy, these are your people. These are people who've signed up, raised their hand to hear specifically from you. It is a very forgiving and disappearing medium. People are reading it on their phone. They're going through their reading, deleting emails. It's easier format to just say like, hey, let's play in the sandbox. Let's learn how to write personality packed copy. I explain that nowhere on the sales page. I'm adding that in. Your takeaway, if there's something that you're saying over and over again, put it somewhere on the sales page. People consume information in different ways. Some people are gonna wanna read it. Some people are gonna wanna see it in a video with you talking about it. Some people are gonna need you to say it exactly to them on a sales call. People consume info different way, but your sales page, I would say, is like the magnum opus of the whole launch. That is where all of the information, it's the hub, it's the database where all the arguments live. Put it there too. Number 7, always send out what is called the Gainer email. My friend Ashlyn Gainer coined it. Are you asking people after they join or purchase why they did so? Their reasons are probably gonna be different from yours, so take that. That is client and customer voice hacking 101. So now one thing I wanna do is go back and read through all those responses that we got and add them inside the copy. Finally, number 8, we made it a comparison chart. This one, I had saved one of the best, I think, for last. Help people understand where this offer fits into your whole ecosystem of offers. People will get confused, especially if you're good at sales and you know you can sell them on this. One thing that they'll be thinking is, okay, but how does this fit into what I've already bought from this company? Give them some sort of comparison chart. If you have a complimentary course that could go with this, show them what are the differences in the two courses. That's what I'm gonna add. I wanna show the difference in copywriting for creatives and the Copy Bar Collective. And while they don't compete against each other, but instead, while they're very complementary, show your people things like that that can, again, be demonstrated really well visually. Whew, okay, I hope that gave you 8-ish ideas of ways that you can go out now and conquer and tweak your sales page to be even more optimized than it is. Go ahead, slot it on your calendar, block out a few hours, and let that be something that you do. You've got this. Grab that freebie if you're not quite sure how to structure your sales page in the first place, and comment below, was this helpful? What questions do you have about your sales pages? I love answering them. If you found this video helpful, be sure to share it with one business bestie who can hold you accountable to implementing some of these things. And now that you know that this is going to slot into one of your Tiger Time focused deep work moments, where does that go on your calendar? Be sure to watch the next video I have for you. I'm digging into 3 different systems that I completely overhauled in my own copywriting business. Here's to working from a place of more rest, less hustle. I'll see you in the next one.